right, thank you for being here. Welcome to FOIA Love. My name is Curtis Ray. Woo! The last time I did FOIA Love, it was on the 8th floor of another building, and now it's on the basement. It's in a basement. So you guys, you haven't figured out, the only reason I do this show is to avoid my nemesis, Ironside. I've had that theme song on my computer for a long time, and I finally got to use it. So thank you for indulging me and letting me do that. If this is your first time at the show, let's talk about the Freedom of Information Act and what exactly that is. Because this whole show is called FOIA Love, Freedom of Information Act. That is a law that says anybody, me, comedians, journalists, people who have normal levels of self-esteem are allowed to look up any document that you want. You can write a letter to the government and say, hey, I want to see this document. And they have to give it to you, but they can redact information, or they could just not give it to you and hope that you stop asking them, which happens so often. This came into play yesterday in the news. I don't know if you saw the news yesterday. What's in the news? Yeah, Hillary Clinton, this is absolutely true. People were trying to read her emails when she was Secretary of State. And one of the most important emails of all was this one. This is dead serious. I didn't alter this in any way. Hillary Clinton, she wrote this. Subject line, gefilte fish. And the text, where are we? That's 100% true. There's some story behind it. We don't need to know it. But then it got me thinking, maybe, and I realized gefilte fish is a very important part of diplomacy, and we just don't realize it. Because I went back and looked up the email records of previous secretaries of state, and, well, here's one from Colin Powell. Colin Powell had an email, again, subject line, gefilte fish. From Roland:16@colonmail.com. Pretty sure I spotted some gefilte fish on satellite images in Baghdad. Might just be a smudge, though. What's the plan of action? Bomb? Question. This is serious stuff. It's not a joke that we, gefilte fish. Let me back up. Does anyone even know what gefilte fish is? If you don't, it's you're very lucky. It's like a fish meatball. Made of Asian carp, I think. Yeah, correct reaction. If anyone, yeah, if I heard it sound like you're licking your lips, I'd be concerned. So we're still doing the Secretaries of State. Here's one from Lawrence Eagleburger. He's very well known as being the least funny of all Secretaries of State. Please keep that in mind. That's Lawrence Eagleburger. Least funny of all Secretaries of State. Subject line, gefilte fish. What did the taxidermist say when someone handed him a trout? Gefilte fish? Like I said, he's one of the least funny of all the Secretaries of State. And one more, I was fascinated to find this one. This is from William Seward, the Secretary of State for Abraham Lincoln. He sent an email to his superiors. William Seward bought Alaska for the United States, and it was called Seward's Folly, because everyone thought he just bought a big block of ice that wouldn't be worth anything. So this is what he said. People say buying Alaska would be my folly, but Russia has assured me the Bering Sea is full of expensive gefilte fish. I'm the king of the world. Well, you know what? He was right. Alaska's great. And this show is sponsored by Holland America Cruise Lines. Alright, enough nonsense, everybody. Please, I'm trying to do a show. Every FOIA show, I have a theme, and the theme this month is borders. So for the next hour, every sketch, every improv bit, every song has to do with borders. And for me, this is personally very appropriate, because for the last couple of weeks I had a guest here, a cousin of mine from Israel, and talking about borders. Like, let's not mess around. Let's talk about the most serious border in all the world. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the New York-New Jersey line war of 1765. Like, let's get serious. So what do you guys think? Was the King of Great Britain correct to demand that the border be the confluence of the Delaware River and the Neversink River near Port Jervis?
Yeah.
Yes? Oh, wow. Okay. get me started. Jeez Louise, there's not enough time. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's start the real part of the show.